Before beginning, I'd like to tell that this video briefly talks about a rape victim. The channel strictly opposes such deeds, and as a way of disapproval of such horrible crime, this video is entirely filmed in black and white. Stockholm Syndrome is a condition that causes hostages to develop a psychological alliance with their captors as a survival strategy during captivity. These feelings, resulting from a bond formed between captor and captives during the intimate time spent together, are generally considered irrational in light of danger or risk endured by the victims. Generally speaking, Stockholm Syndrome consists of strong emotional ties that develop between two persons where one person intermittently harasses, beats, threatens, abuses, or intimidates other person. The FBI's hostage barricade database system shows that roughly 8% of victims show evidence of Stockholm Syndrome. The Stockholm Bank Robbery. In 1973, Jan Erik Olsson, a convict on parole, took 4 employees of bank hostage during a failed bank robbery in Kreditbanken, one of the largest banks in Stockholm, Sweden. He negotiated the release from prison of his friend Clark to assist him. They held the hostages captive for 6 days in one of the bank's vault while torturing them with noose and dynamite. When hostages were released, none of them would testify against either captor in court. Instead, they began raising money for their defense. Niels Bejerot coined this term after Stockholm police asked him for assistance with analyzing the victims' reaction to the 1973 bank robbery and their status as hostages. The Norman Strong syndrome later became known as the Stockholm Syndrome outside Sweden. Another classic case of Stockholm Syndrome is of Natasha Kampusch. While walking to school on March 2, 1998, 10 years old Natasha Kampusch was grabbed by 2 men and thrown into a white van. Despite an exhaustive search of the area, police could not find any trace of Natasha or her reputed kidnappers. For the next 8 years, Natasha was held prisoner in a cellar beneath the garage of a man named Wolfgang Prokopil. The cellar was 54 square feet, windowless, soundproof, and closed in by a concrete and steel door. Initially, Natasha was not permitted to leave the room, but as time went on, she was invited to spend time in other parts of the house. She was left alone in the cellar during the day while captor worked. In the following years, Natasha was given additional freedom as a part of the pact that she would stay silent about her captivity. Each morning, Natasha and her captor had breakfast together, living in a distorted version of normalcy. But the captor countered his niceties by beating Natasha and raping her, all while maintaining that the doors and window of the house were rigged with explosive. On random occasions, Natasha tried to attract attention of outsiders but was unsuccessful. Finally, on 23rd of August 2006, she managed to slip away. She had been vacuuming captor's BMW under his supervision when the phone rang. Captor left Natasha unattended while he took the call. Leaving the vacuum running, she took off into the streets and found a neighbor who called the police. Once Natasha had been in police protection, captor realized that he would likely be convicted of kidnapping and sentenced to life prison. To avoid this, he jumped in front of a moving train near Wien Nord station in Vienna. When Natasha was informed about the captor's death, she wept and even demanded to sit alone with his coffin for hours. Years after the escape, she still carried a photo of him in her wallet. How it happens? First, people would experience something terrifying that just comes at them out of the blue. They are certain that they are going to die. Then they experience a type of infantilization where, like a child, they are unable to eat, speak, or go to toilet without permission. Small act of kindness such as being given food prompts a primitive gratitude for the gift of life. The hostage experience a powerful primitive positive feeling towards their captor. They are in denial that this is the person who put them in that situation. In their mind, they think that this is the person who is going to let them live. But it is said that the cases of Stockholm Syndrome are rare. A classic example is domestic violence, when someone, typically a woman, has a sense of dependency on a partner and stays with him. She might feel empathy rather than anger. Child abuse is another one, where parents emotionally or physically abuse their children, but the child is protective towards them and either doesn't speak about it or lies about it. So this is all about Stockholm Syndrome, and I'll be back with another interesting theory soon. Hit like and subscribe. for more videos.